Hello everyone, my name is Kurazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. We are back on the world on this very rifty day. It's very weird because there's like no wind, it's silent, but it says near gale up on the HUD clock, but I don't quite get what's going on. It might be because I have that Simple Wind mod installed, and that could be messing with our settings. Anyway, I spent a little bit of time after last episode finishing up our panning here, and I also removed the one grass tuft that was growing here. I'm sure some of you probably saw that and will yell at me. But I wanted to show you the spoils of our panning here, and I have one of these storage vessels for the panning we did for the sand and gravel combined, and then this one is the panning of the bony soil. And I did remove all of the things that we'd already gotten and put them into these vessels here. So, the sand and gravel, which was about, I think, 13 blocks total. We got some quartz chunks, some copper arrowheads, some blue clay, some zinc ore, a flint arrowhead, or a couple of them, 12 native copper, a couple church stones, some clear quartz, a bunch of flint, and 10 sandstone stones. So all in all, not too bad. I mean, nothing super exciting, but there you have it. And then from the bony soil, yes, here we go. So we got some more copper arrowheads and the flint arrowheads. I'm going to skip over these two for a second. We got a nugget of native gold. I think this flint actually belongs in here. I'm pretty sure. I don't think you can get flint from these. We got 16 bones, 6 flax fibers, 1 rough emerald of a low potential. We got a candle, which is super exciting because this is what we are aiming for in terms of beekeeping eventually, is that you get bees to make beeswax to make candles. And candles are a permanent light source. They're very dim by themselves, and you can place them on the ground too, but their power really shines when you put them into a lantern, and those become some of the brightest light sources in the game, and they work underwater. But we're going to keep this in here for now because we can't make any lanterns yet. And let's turn our attention to these aged lore books. These have brick red covers. I don't know if they come in other colors yet. Let's find out. And from what I understand, in the previous versions of the game, when you got lore like this and you read it, it would disappear from your inventory forever. Supposedly they stick around now. Let's find out. Or let's open the door by accident. Let's spin this around. Yeah, there we go. And look, we still have the book. So if we were in multiplayer on a server, we could actually pass these around and we could all read them and all get the lore. Let's see what this one is. So we got 2 pieces of reflection, which is a story that I read before in the previous season. I think I will go through the lore again when we have enough of them to actually read a serious chunk of them and sort of do some more lore episodes. But that will be for the future. Let's go ahead, we're going to put these books away and talk about the episode. So, this episode, I want to explore our backyard a bit. We went to the east last episode. I want to go south a bit and explore especially this little forest here, and see if we can find any bees, but also just take a spin around what's to the south here of us, and get a feel for the landscape. Now, going into the forest means that we are going to come face to face with probably wolves, and possibly bears. That might be one over there. That might actually be a... That could have been a sheep, but I don't know. They can be deceiving sometimes. So I think what we're going to do before we go is we're going to come out to about here, I think, and we're going to set up maybe even actually closer to the forest, just, yeah, maybe more like here, and we're going to set up a little trap, a place that we can run to willy-nilly with a bear or wolf on our heels and get up someplace safe and then deal with the bear or wolf or chase them off. So the way that I want to do this is a design that I haven't tried before, but it works great in my mind. And that is, I want to make a pillar like this that we can then jump to and get up the ladder, and the bear or wolf can't follow. Instead, they should get dumped into a small pit. Now we have to dig this pit probably, well, as deep as we can get, really, because most bears can reach up about 3 blocks, so we'll have to see if we can somehow trap them in here. I'm going to go ahead and dig this out, and we'll take a look at it in the morning, after hopefully all these rifts go away. Change of plans, everybody. I don't know if you see it yet, but in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, there is a storm approaches warning, and that was accompanied by this message here in the chat, and that means that there is a temporal storm approaching. Now, temporal storms are a feature of the game that you can turn on or off in the settings when you create the world. They are big, scary, well, storms where the world gets very topsy-turvy and crazy things happen, and we need to try to survive a temporal storm. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make some food to carry with us into and hopefully through the storm. And then we're going to go and build a Kurazar Company patented storm shelter. And we're going to hunker down for a bit and experience the storm a little bit, and then talk about how to survive it and how to turn it into a lucrative event. So I'm going to gather some supplies here, and I'll meet all of you over in the field somewhere probably up here, or maybe even over here. Not quite sure yet. We'll figure it out. Alright everyone, here we are with the forest that we're going to explore today in the backdrop. Let's get to work. So during temporal storms you will have a lot of creepy crawlies spawning. Creepy crawlies being drifters, and if you are still new to the game and you haven't progressed very far into it, you're going to start seeing drifters that are very new to you as soon as this thing hits. Now I need to think about these corners here. There we go. And I'm going to build us a little hut here, and we'll talk about how this is going to work. Oh dear. And right over there is one of the bears we want to avoid. I hope he doesn't come too close. We'll have to see. Okay, so there we go. There's most of our build here. And we need to be able to shore this up. It gets very dark in here. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and open this back up again. And what we're going to do here is we're going to poke a couple holes in these corners right here and there. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit in this little centerpiece here, center area. And we are going to lure the drifters in with our tasty, fleshy little bodies. And what's going to happen is they're going to come and sort of congregate in these corners here and try to get to us. The trick is they can't. We can't let them get to us because it's bad for everyone's health. Well, our health specifically. And so what we need to do is we need to create a little bit of a barrier using these. Now, we could put a barrier like that, well, not like that, flat on the ground. However, then it gets sort of difficult to actually reach these guys and kill them and get their spoils, which we do actually want. So instead what we have to do is we have to basically do something like this, where we make it so that the drifters can't crawl through here and get to us. And believe me, oh bear, really? And they do come in 2 sizes, the walkie ones and the crawly ones. And they don't differ in terms of power. It's just that the crawlers can fit through 1 block tall gaps. Now, as for protection here, and I'm going to show you how to make some more of these cobblestone slabs. If you take some stones of the same color and make a row underneath some blue clay, or actually fire clay too, you can make some extra sandstone or other stone slabs depending on what stone you use for the recipe. And like that, we now have a relatively, but not quite safe area in here. The last thing we need to do is we need to stone all of this to keep things from spawning in here. And if I had more, I would also stone the roof and maybe even build a little ladder up to it, because there are apparently some new things we can see in 1.18 in these storms, like bears lurking outside our shelter here. Love it. So I'm going to run back. We're going to grab our food, because we're probably going to need it during the storm. Ooh, and we already have drifters spawning. Not from the storm, though. And then we're going to sit back, relax, and hopefully make a killing, and not get killed. However, I will warn you, if you have any motion sickness, you will want to avert your eyes during the storm, because it gets a little wobbly. Oh, and now that it is half an hour away in-game, we get the storm is imminent warning. We're going to head in here, and we are going to zip up tight. Alright everyone, here we go. So you'll see your gear start spinning backwards, and these creepy textures start flowing everywhere. And as you can see, there's sort of a graphic shader, or effect, that makes the world get all wobbly. Now, the way that we've designed this trap here is that each of these four corners has a set of stairs up to them, and so drifters should be able to walk up and get in, but not get out. Like that. And there we have a crawling nightmare drifter on the ground. And these guys are bad business. One of these guys will probably kill us in one hit. So we got a couple of these guys too. So we're going to try to take out a couple of these if we can. And you'll hear that the sound effects are strange. That is a sort of sound effect on top of the temporal storms that makes everything sound very strange and spooky. And not make any sense. So yep, this is a temporal storm. They're not friendly, but if you can kill the nightmare drifters or the double-headed drifters, if they show up, then you can actually make quite a bit of money on them. And of course, in order to actually harvest things, you do need your knife. But you gotta be careful, because if you get too close, these nightmare guys will rip you to shreds. Oh, we got one. Let's see if we can harvest him and get something good. We got nothing good. Piece of flax. Not exciting. And yet they will still throw stones at you, so you really can't get away from that, unfortunately. But being in here and relatively safe sure beats being out there with them. Now, some people like to run around with the drifters and try to sort of fight them in an arena. That's cool too. It is not really my style. I'm a very careful player in general. Ooh, took a swing. Ah, there we go. Alright, please give us something good this time, buddy. Your friend didn't. Nope, just some flax. Now the flax, of course, is still useful. It's just, you know, it's no temporal gear. So anyway, I'm going to keep fighting this, and if we happen across anything else interesting, I'll bring you back. Alright folks, here we go. We have a double-headed drifter here. These are a special breed of drifter. They only spawn rarely during temporal storms. They can kill you in one hit, for one. Well, with no armor on, at least. They have a ton of hit points. And if you kill them, you are guaranteed to get at least one temporal gear. And you'll probably get a boatload of other gears, too. We're going to go ahead and harvest this guy as soon as we can, because he might disappear when the storm ends. Yes, we got a temporal gear, we got 2 flax fibers, and 3 rusty gears. That is quite the haul from one enemy. Now you can sometimes get 2 temporal gears stacked up. That's a pretty good haul too, actually a very good haul. But we are now actually halfway to having what we need, oops, to repair that translocator we found. But yep, and we also got the message that the storm is about to end soon, which is great. Because I am out of spears. I need to go make some more. Hopefully that bear will let us get out of here. I don't know if we can kill these guys with the spears we have left. Nope. Can I knife you? No, we're gonna not do that. But we have a bunch of growly boys out there now. Now, once the storm ends, it's not always safe to go out. Only about half of the drifters will despawn when the storm is over. So you have to be careful that you don't just rush out and run home, because you might end up walking right into a bunch of drifters. So I like to... Oh, stop it. I like to check out the bottom block first and see if it's safe. I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to knock out this, and we're going to run. Hopefully that bear is not here. The bear's right over there. Sweet. Well, we'll deal with him once we are a bit healthier. We're a bit damaged right now. So I'm going to go heal up. I'm going to put this stuff away somewhere. Our storage is getting kind of full. And then we'll go and tackle that bear with what's left of the daylight. Alright, folks. We are back out. It is time for us to go on a bit of a bear hunt, which is a really unwise idea in any season. But, oh no, he's gone. There's a pig there. Correction, there's a dead pig here, which means the bear already got him. Now, that bear may have run off to find other prey, or it may have run around here. Oh, I hear a lamb down there. I don't think we'll find the bear lurking in one of these holes. I don't think they fit in a 2x2 hole. Let's find this bear. More dead pig. But live pigs over there. Alright, we're going to take what we can from this guy while we're here. Hopefully the bear doesn't spot us while we're engaging in some light theft. And we'll take from this one too. The lack of bear I find very concerning. I turn my back for a minute and a half. That bear is nowhere to be seen. Oh, we got some hide from this guy too. That's not bad. Okay, well, bear is kind of a bust at the moment, which is really concerning, because when we come across that bear in the wood, it's going to rip our faces off. Faces plural. Bear didn't fall in. But you know what? I think I still see a wolf from over here that I saw the other night. Are you out here, wolf? I thought I saw a black shadow. Now, the nice thing is that since we are a clockmaker, if we do come across a wolf, we can probably outrun it. Probably. Actually, definitely. The bears, I'm not so sure about. I think I see it sort of lying down over there. Oh no, we have no range. Oh no. Oh, there's the bear. Oh, come here, bear. Hey, bear. Oh, we're gonna try this. Hey, bear, come on. Oh boy, he mad. He coming. You coming? Let's go. Let's go, bear. Up we go. And you fall right in there. Yes. Oh, we got him, guys. We got the bear. Alright, so the bear is basically at our mercy as long as we don't fall in there with him. And I kind of realized that I put our exit holes here a little close for comfort. Now, bears have 1 billion hit points. We can hit them from here anyway. Yeah, whatever, dude. But I think we'll leave the bear in there for now. We'll go rest, and then we'll see about the bear. Okay, folks, we are back in the morning. We're going to go check on our little bear trap up here. Oh, berry bears. Ah, I hear you. Hi. How you doing? So, things to know about trapping animals, specifically bears and wolves, is that once upon a time, in a version called 1.17 and earlier, you could trap bears and wolves in pits forever. And as long as they were near enough to the area where they spawned in the first place, they would prevent further bears and wolves from spawning. What happens now, however, is that every 14 days, a bear or wolf that spawns despawns. So you can trap them here for 14 days and get 14 days-ish of peace and quiet. Or you could also just use this sort of pit to harvest them and get the materials, and then that will sort of put them back into the spawning pool, which I think happens about every 20 days. So whether or not you trap them, you can kind of expect to see a new one in 20 days. I am thinking we should go ahead and kill this one because we want the fat, we want the hide, we kind of want the bones, and we don't really want the meat, but it's there, I guess. Now, oh, hello. Still too high up. You'll see that I brought along like 9 spears here. That's because black bears have about 44 hit points, and each spear deals 5 damage, so we need basically a minimum of 9 spears to kill this thing. Oh, bonus hits. Ah, come on, buddy. And it's down. Alright. Good job, us. Get the old back patter out. And let's go ahead and harvest this guy up and see what he's got. I also have a feeling this is not the only black bear in the area. We got 10 raw bushmeat, 2 huge raw hides, and 2 lumps of fat. And we have no space to store it, so I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. We have our 10 bushmeat, our 2 rawhide, our 2 lumps of fat. And then let's break this up, and we should get some bones. We got a healthy serving of bones here. Now, it should be noted that this bushmeat cannot be used in meals. It's kind of gross and gamey and stringy, and you had to kind of chop it off with your bones. Although I understand that bear is kind of delicacy, so I kind of disagree with bears being in the bushmeat category. They can have apparently pretty tasty, fatty meat. But you can cook it up over a fire. You can salt it in a barrel if you happen to have salt, which we do not yet. And it restores a modicum of satiation and provides some protein, which we are pretty full on, so I'm not super concerned about that bushmeat. If it rots, it rots. And you will see here that I have crafted a tool rack and put our spears on it. Now, tool racks are crafted with 6 sticks. You put 3 across the top and 3 across the bottom. You get your tool rack, and you can place it on a wall. And from there, each section of the rack is interactable with right-click. So you point in roughly the right quadrant, and you'll pick up or place the item that you want. Now, if we didn't want to use a tool rack, we could place some items on the ground, which is done by doing a crouch run, crouch sprint. In my case, that is, well, minus shift. It might be control shift for you. And you can place up to 2 items, or 2 tools specifically, on the ground or on a block against a wall. These take up the ground space here. But let's get back out here, and I bet there's a second bear, because that bear, I think, was a little bit lighter in color than the bear over here. And the bears do come in a slight set of color varieties. Are you alive? You're alive, okay. Maybe that bear isn't over here. Let's run through the woods willy-nilly and find out. There's a wolf. There are 2 wolves, in fact. We should probably get their attention and bring one of them with us, and see if we can trap that one in our little place here. Oh, there are 3 wolves. See if we can get one of you to follow us, and just one. Come on. Okay, you're running. I don't like that. That wasn't supposed to happen. Alright. I'm gonna bet that the white is the male, because the other one sort of ran to... Yep. The white is the male, okay. We have a few of these left. Let's try to catch their attention again. Are you going to do anything? Well, you're dead. That's pretty cool. Let's go get our other spears and come back and take care of them once and for all. Oh my goodness. Alright, well you're almost dead. So are we. Ah! Oh, you got the jukes. No, come back. Alright, well, they are running off. We're going to try to sneak up on them and see if we can get them with our spears from afar. Now, we have really short range, unfortunately. I think I actually overshot that one somehow. Alright, you. Ah, gotcha, alright. And the white one. Sorry, Geralt. Would you please... There we go. We have terrible aim, apparently. But that went really well. I'm surprised we survived against 3 wolves and took literally 0 hits so far. That was luck more than anything, I think. Well, I'm going to go ahead and harvest these up, and then we'll start taking a bit more of a stroll around these parts here and see what there's to see, like turnips. Neat. Okay, the wolves are harvested. I think I got all of our spears back finally. I think it is time for us to go on a bit of an explore in these here woods. I don't want to get in too deep, but I do want to sort of show you what kinds of things you can find in the woods that are uncommon or difficult to find elsewhere. The first thing, of course, are the horsetail, which we covered in a previous episode. You can also find some other flowers, but they kind of spawn everywhere. But blueberry bushes, forests are the sole location where you will find blueberry bushes, and so if you want some of them, then you'll have to come to the forest for that. And blueberries are as good nutritionally as the currants, red, white, and black, but they are only stackable, well, they're not stackable. They only exist as single bushes and cannot be put on top of each other. Now, forests are also great places to look for pine trees that may be leaking resin. Assuming there are pine trees around, not every forest has pine trees. Some are like single types of trees. Others are more varied, like this one. If you're lucky, you might just find some resin lurking somewhere. Now, I like to kind of work my way around sort of clearings in forest, try to get a better viewing angle for areas we're going into. Unless I have armor. If I have armor, I will happily run willy-nilly into the tree leaves here and just sort of, you know, base tank the wolves. But when we only have a few hit points and... we have armor left. Plenty of armor. But our armor can't stand up to wolves, so with that in mind, we don't want to be just running in blindly to any situations, if possible. Sometimes you can't avoid it, like if you're being, you know, chased by a bear, then you kind of just got to go where the bear isn't as fast as you can. However, if you keep your ears open, sometimes you can hear them fighting with other creatures, running, getting hurt, that kind of thing. Now, the other kind of thing that I have mentioned in the last episode that you can find mostly in forests are bees. I'm listening very closely. Actually, I hear a waterfall now, not bees. Because if you hear bees, that means there's a beehive nearby. And sometimes you can rarely see them before you hear them, but I think typically you're more likely to hear them first, because you can hear them from a decent distance away. Here we are kind of moving, ooh, nice, around the mountain. I'm not going to go up to the top there. We have found some more resin here, but we don't have enough space for it. But I did bring along a spare basket. I have been tossing some stuff into it, like the things we got from those wolves. And I think we should put probably 2 of our spears in here. I don't think we need all the spears on us at the moment. Let's go ahead and just pick this up, and then we can get this resin, and we'll mark it. Alright, that is 2 resin trees. It's not much, but it is a start. And hey, we have here some more fruit trees. We have a pear tree and a cherry tree. Nice. Okay. Cool. I'm not a wild fan of the cherry trees. Oh, I already had these marked. So let's make our way north, back through the trees, back through the mountains and woods, and let's keep our ears and eyes open and see if we can hear and spot anything that sounds like bees. Or other things. Alright, let's make our way back around this way then. We'll go around this sort of little hillock here, across here where it's the shortest. Ooh, I hear friends. We're going to make a bit of a vault for it then. Oh, and what have we here? We have some brown coal bits on the ground. Well, that's nice. We're not too far from home here. Now, I've already found some brown coal even closer to home. I didn't really mention it because it wasn't pertinent yet. But we do have some right here, next to our home. We're going to need a lot of this, though, so let's go ahead and mark it. Now, we could pick up this brown coal bit and take it with us, but we don't really have a use for it yet. Brown coal is used mostly for smelting ores. Actually, all coal is used mostly for smelting ores. And since we're not quite at that stage yet, we're going to leave it where it is here. Well, I think it is time for us to head back and take stock of what we did today. We actually accomplished quite a bit more than I thought we would, even though we didn't find what I was really hoping to find, which is bees. Oh, and I am going to grab... Oh my. There's a hole and a half. I'm going to grab these rye grains here, because they'll give us a little bit more food to hold us over. And on the way back, we ran into another kind of crop that you can grow. We have some parsnips here. Now, parsnips are not my favorite option. I like them better than carrots. I don't like them as much as onions. They're both pea crops, by the way. They share that with onions. And they do have a purpose, however, because parsnips are especially hardy against the cold. They're also great for if you need to grow crops and all you have is really low-grade soil. Then they'll actually grow okay, but not great, and they'll do it kind of slowly too. But they don't require much in the way of nutrients, so you can get away with low fertility soil as long as you can wait. Oh, and I see one of our trees has grown. Oh, they've both grown. And into the basically perfectly sized trees for the area they're in. I like it. What do you all think? Let's get in here, and I'm going to go ahead and unload and probably make another rack to put some of our spears on. And then let's talk about harvesting and possibly rotating our crops here. Alright everyone, with the faint sound of a rift somewhere in the distant background, let's go ahead and take a look at our crops. So we have here a small set of fully grown turnips, and I'm actually not sure why they're already fully grown, because if you look at the seed packet over here, it says they take 9 days to grow. We planted them on, I think, day 3, so it's been 2 days and they're already grown. So I don't know what that growth speed means. Like, does it mean it takes 9 days to grow in low fertility soil, or what? I'm not quite certain. And maybe, since we did alter how fast trees grow, I don't know if that also affects crops. And if it does, it's kind of unfortunate. But you'll see here, by looking at the crop or the block underneath it, farmland, you'll see that the nutrient levels have dropped to about just shy of 30% N, while the P and K have stayed at 50. That's because these crops only draw on nitrogen, as far as the game's concerned. I don't know about real life. And that means that when we go to rotate our crops, we're going to want to rotate in something that's P or something that's K. Now what I'm thinking is, I think we're going to harvest these and then I'll leave the field fallow a bit, just to let our other crops catch up. That way it's easier to kind of keep a sort of rhythm going with, moving all of your crops from one to the next, rather than doing it, piecemeal. But let's go ahead and grab these and see what we get. Now you'll see that each one pops into one seed packet and one unit of crop. However, each of those can be a stack. So we actually got a stack of 2 seeds here, and we got 2 stacks, one of 8 and one of 6 turnips. So as you can see, this is actually going to be quite the haul for us. And there we have almost an entire stack of turnips, just from that little tiny harvest. So let's go ahead here, we're going to put this away. We'll get those seeds out later. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our turnips down here, where they will stay fresh for quite a while. We'll actually stack those up just to mix them up. And let's see, they are good for 107 days, which is darn close to a year. Great. And in a couple days, when the other crops have grown, we will come back out and we will do that rotation, and I'll cover that when that happens. But for now, I think that is all the time we have for this episode of the Vintage Story Guide. I hope you enjoyed our little escapade in tackling bears and wolves and somehow coming out unscathed, which I don't quite believe myself, but we managed to do it. And I hope you're looking forward to more exploration around our little home here. In the next episode, I think I want to explore some of the materials that we have access to in the early game that we haven't covered yet. Most of them I think fall under the ceramic and dirt categories, but I think we should take a look at them and go over what each of them means to us and how we can use them either in a build or in a more practical sense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, my name is HUD Clock. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.